if it's are you okay if I stop the stream? And, I'm just going to get a drink of water and I'll come and stop the intro and just get straight into it. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Sector 1 for round 7 of Season 12. Tonight we're heading to Suzuka with our Category 1A and 1B drivers. My name is the Banker from Dadson Racing, and joining me in comms tonight for the Cat 1B race is my fellow Cat 2A driver, Laminator Shannon from Lightning Motorsport. But before we go any further, just want to call out and say massive apologies for the late start to this stream. Software gremlins caused by some updates, but with some help from admin, we are on top of it now, we hope. So, here we go. Laminator, what are your thoughts on what you've seen tonight, and how are these boys starting to shape up for what will be a big race at Suzuka?
Well, it looks to me like there's going to be some pretty rapid pace tonight. My boss went ahead and dropped a 2023 in practice, and not to be outdone, from across the ditch, Kiwi Matt decided to say, "Hold my Black Rose," and dropped a 2013.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That is super quick. Super quick.
To be honest, I think we need to investigate the Black Rose Racing Jags, because I think they have an FA18 strapped to the roof.
I reckon I followed two of them home last week, and I think one of them home the week before, so I know how hard they are to race against. They got a very good tune and a very good field of drivers. But before we go any further, big shout out to our Sector 1 sponsors who help us bring the racing to you every Sunday night. Not always as late as we are tonight, but Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, LJ Media and Design, APR Automotive, Boxer Beauty. There are the guys that help us do this. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you've not already done so. And also, there's a link down below to our Discord in the YouTube page if you'd like to join the Sector 1 community. So have a look at that. Jump in. Really good group of people, and good to do it now, because you'll see very shortly some announcements on Season 13 and what that will look like. So tonight, just let me catch up, being a little bit behind here. We will have a look at where we are and what we're doing tonight. So, as I said, the track is Suzuka. It's 5.807 kilometres long, 19 turns in a mix of really high and low speed corners here, and a lot of them don't have a lot of camber to help with grip. And the back straight, or the back section that they call it, is a 1.2 kilometre straight. And in the F1 world, the fastest lap here is held by Kimi Antonelli at 1 1 minute 30 seconds, 0.965. So really hurtling, and that was set in 2025 last year. Setting for tonight's races. Standard race format, 22 laps, 10-minute quali. Tyre wear is set at 2, fuel usage at 3, and the refuel rate is 4 litres per second. No mandatory pit stops. Tyre compound medium softs are available, as are wets if needed. And the guys in this Legacy Series, pretty much where Sector 1 began and had some of our best racing, but they're Group 4 race cars, 543 brake horsepower, and the minimum weight is set at 1,415 kilos. You can see the strategy section of the slide. Likely safe strategy, one stop with mediums. I think it'll be a bit of a favourite. However, a two stop using both compounds is a bit of a wildcard strategy, and certainly given the quality of this Cat 1 field, do not discount that two stop strategy even if it's all on softs. The other thing I mentioned rain before, or wet weather tyres. It can rain at Suzuka. I think in the practice lead up across various teams during the week, I don't think we've seen any, but it can rain at Suzuka's. So if it gets cloudy, the drivers will need to be watching that rain radar very, very closely. So driver absences tonight, not really across everything, but in Category 1B, I believe it'll be Dadson for VF, and we have Greg's filling in 1B as well. But apart from that, points position. So I will get to that. So this is the driver points coming up on the screen. So we'll just look at the podium. It's a bit disjointed with Joker cards that I'll talk about, but a quick look at the Cat 1A podium. We got Gish on 217.5 points, Sneaky Stevo on 154, and Ricky Bobby on 146. Very interestingly, in Cat 1A, from what I can see, only Sneaky Stevo and Captain Muffin have played their Joker cards. Joker card, you're allowed to play it in a standard round, and it gives the driver the option to earn double points. The Cat 1B podium that you see there, Kiwi Matt in P1 on 224.5 points, Eva Levo on 172, and Stickers on 167. So with that, in Cat 1B, we've had Kiwi Matt, Stickers, Boybegum, Dadson and Warbo all have played their Joker cards. So we'll just have a quick look at the teams. So this is at the end of round 6, Sedegna standard round for all points. We've got Black Rose Racing in their Jaguars sitting on 741 points. They've played 3 of their Jokers. Dadson Motorsport in the Corvette on 637.5 points. Also have played the 3 Jokers, and CP Motorsports have quietly moved up into third on 613, not having played a Joker at this point in time. So as you can see, at the end of round 6, not a real clear position. A lot of Joker cards need to play out. So tonight we have Greggs and Damo Reed in 1B playing their cards. But what it does do, it leaves 17 drivers, I think, if my maths is right, playing the Joker card in round 8, which is the finale at Laguna Seca. So I think all hell will break loose in round 8. But just get back to the slideshow. So I think mainly that's the formalities of where it all stands. I reckon these guys will be absolutely itching to get onto quali. Have you given them a little bit of a heads up, Laminator? We can hit that quali button and we'll get the guys.
Yep, if they're not ready now, then that's on them.
No worries. All right, we'll just quickly.
Button has been pushed.
Hang on.
Or did I start a little bit too early?
No, you're okay. Right. I think that was me.
No, that's okay. I just ticked myself in like an idiot.
I think I accidentally ticked in instead of sitting back, and just let me get this screen up for everyone. Sorry, just trying to get our broadcast to hook up with the broadcasting studio. Okay, fingers crossed. We should be showing quali, and I've only lost a few seconds on it. But
that's okay. I haven't even pressed the button because I can do it
no
right
worries.
now. There it is. In about 10 seconds, we're going to light the fires and kick the tires.
Right, we're away, so we'll see who's out first.
Walbo's out first, but I'll tell you what, he's going to have to make sure he's keeping it careful through turn 1, because during the third safety car test start, we got all sorts of loose coming in through the first turn, and I don't know if he had too much rear brake bias, but he really tried to take the front, and he went sailing away off into the AstroTurf. Everyone's back to their normal livery tonight. No one's accidentally left the retro livery on, so that means we have some form of normality through the season. That's what we're looking at the cars. Oh, Niff is no stickers getting out of the way from Niff. Thought there might have been a bit of a hold up there, but that's okay.
Yeah, mate, keep talking. I'm just struggling a little bit with the audio, just hearing your commentary, but yeah, definitely Warbo up front in the Harvey's Towing, part of the Dadson Racing team. Just quickly go down through the field. We've got Damo Reed driving the vet for Doghouse. There's Nico in one of the Hoon Corp Mercedes entries. Evil Evo, who I saw did some pretty impressive times in practice together with Niff, and Kiwi Matt, Doghouse. There's Niff in the CV Motorsports Merc, stickers in the Lightning Motorsports Merc as well. Beautiful livery on these cars. Livery Lords have set a very high standard. There's Kiwi Matt in the Black Rose Racing. Exceptional results this season. Mr. Bumcrack in the Kraken Esports. Big J also in the Merlin car for Lightning Motorsports. We do have Rudsy filling in that we didn't pick up on before, just in Black Rose. VF, the second Dadson car on the grid tonight, filling in for Dadson himself, who's been racing HQ Holdens in real life today, and Greg's filling in for Symmetry Motorsports. So if Warbo being first car on the track, this is his first top lap, so we'll just stay with him for a sec.
Well, luckily everyone's kept their heads about them and everyone's on self, so they make sure that their tyre choice is correct. Nothing worse than going in for your qualifying only to find out that you've got a tyre compound on. You just wasted effectively at least 2 laps. Coming in a spoon curve, so you will be the first one across the line. So the entire field being led by two Corvettes and 1 Merc. Danico currently below everything, the timing order is going to be completely mixed up once they start going across the line.
Yeah, very tricky part of the track there through through Spoon Curve, so we'll just see where Warbo ends up as he comes through the Casio Triangle to set his first time. And that's a 201.9. That is cracking. Absolutely cracking. 203.392 for Evil Evo, and up to the top, Kiwi Matt on 201.659. I thought it might have taken them a lap or so just to get into there and get those tyres warmed up, but that is an absolutely cracking pace.
No, they're not mucking around, they're moving along. I think that's just a case of setting the fastest bank you can, and then just going in there, squeezing the track for every tenth you can get after that. Rex across the line with the 204.597. Hopefully he can improve. Currently got his brake balance 5 to the rear. A little bit drastic, but okay. Doesn't look like anyone else is playing with their brake bias, so it looks like they're happy with where they've got it.
Yeah, it depends on what you do. It can be good for tyre wear, and well, you might lose a little bit of turn in it. I guess it depends on the balance of the suspension tune, but we'll just jump on board again with Warbo and just see if he can... well, it looks like he might have backed off a little bit here. Maybe as a run an in-lap to change tyres, because Damo Reed has caught up with him. He'll certainly be getting a bit of a slipstream if he's still running hot.
Even Reedy was a little bit taken through 130R there.
And guys in the chat, if you can just give us maybe a quick note if you can hear both Laminator and myself clearly, just to make sure. So yeah, the first two Corvettes are in, no fuel, new softs, and we got the Nickno in there on as well.
I think everyone will be coming in. There's no reason to stay out. You've burnt your best of your tyres up, so it's best to get in, bolt another set on, and hope you get your best first slightly.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with those 201s in that very first opening salvo here. It's yeah, very, very impressive.
A little bit ominous for the paints tonight. If Matt and Warbo have their setup that doesn't burn tyres, they may be able to push that sort of pace with the softs and possibly pull away from the field, but obviously we haven't had a race here at Suzuka this season, so we're not too sure exactly what's going on. These guys are the pioneers.
Yeah, just a little bit of feedback in the chat, Laminator. I'm struggling to hear, but yeah, you're very quiet. If you can, if you've got a volume setting there that you can use.
Well, let's hope that's a bit better. I've just adjusted the mic. Let's see if there's something for me.
So we've got Warbo, I think, on the track. That's around through Spoon, and Damo Reed's been able to get a really good tow from him. He's well within that sort of 7th, 8th, 10th mark, so we'll see how it goes. As it goes through 130R, hard on the brakes into the Casio Triangle.
Ready with the curb?
Absolutely, and it's just one section. You can easily make up a few tenths anyway, if you can get it flowing and use every bit of the curb. So yeah, a little bit slower on that run. Damo Reed, I think that improved his time there by a couple of tenths to be 202.460. We will have a look at stay on board with Niff through this lap. Um, as he comes up through the S section, or the snake as it's called, really flowing section, depending on how your car's tuned, third gear, or even fourth, depending if you're running a 7-speed gearbox, which the Jags are. So we've got Niff purple through here, so really good clean section.
What was Niff purple by?
Coming up through to Degner. And this is a part of the track where it forms a figure of 8, where they pass under the top section. Oh, he's picked up a penalty. That's unfortunate. Just, yeah, a little bit too much on the curb there. So we'll go back to Kiwi Matt.
Warbo was 1.5 tenths up coming out of the Dagners, and this will be their final lap.
Warbo's first car on the road with Damo Reed in hot pursuit, again getting a great tow. Coming into 130R. Fortune favours the brave. He's quickest, but not purple. Set a PB. Through the triangle.
Warbo.
What can he do?
Warbo coming up to the line. Improves 201.648.
Wow. He picked up a lot of time through that triangle. Damo Reed also picked up 2 tenths there to quite potentially solidify third.
Kiwi Matt.
Oh, bang.
Beats it.
Just, and stickers. Where did he come from? Wow.
Oh!
Unbelievable.
The boss found a second.
Yep.
He's pulled that out of his dot.
Yep, absolutely. A Merc on light fuel and a good tune and a very good driver behind the wheel.
So what I'm hearing is I got no excuses for next week.
Well, we have to practice during the week. At least we've got some times now to benchmark from, and I can tell you that's a long way from me. So we'll adjourn and just let this run through, and we'll get the podium up to show where all the results are.
Wow, that's blown me away to cop a 201, a mid 201 in a Merc in a sea of vets.
Yeah, no, Stickers has done a sensational job there. Kiwi Matt in the Black Rose, only ever so slightly ahead, you know, a few hundredths there. So in first place, in pole for the race, is Kiwi Matt with 201.527, very closely followed by Stickers for Lightning Motorsport 201.552, and Warbo in the vet at a 201.648. Absolutely motoring. Followed by D. Reed for Doghouse at 202.215, and none of these times are shabby. There is pretty much a second between the top 5 and not much more as we move on. P5 Mr. Bumcrack, P6 Denicno, P7 Niff, P8 Rudsey, who is from category 2A filling in, so has done a really, really good job with that time. We've got VF also filling in from Cat 2A with a 203.191. Great drives there. We've got Big J 203.281 in P10. P11 for Evil Evo 203.392. And Greg's in P12 filling in as well from category 2. So yeah, surprises, the times. Also, I think Evil Evo may have run into some issues, whether it's traffic or track related, going through there, but definitely a very, very hot qualifying session. Your thoughts, Lemonator?
Yeah, Evil Evo. That's definitely not where you would expect him to be. So I don't know what's going on there. Same with my teammate Big J. He must have just been hung up through the entire session because that's not where was seeing his times in the practice sessions. The biggest surprise is my boss Stickers coming in with that 20152. I'm still a little bit speechless about that. But obviously the Mercs are a bit of a wild card here with that time, and they're not all that far behind for the rest of the guys like Mr. Bumcrake, Danico, Niff. We know how rapid he can be when he turns it on. So I think it's very much a mixed bag of what can happen tonight, unless Kiwi Matt, who has been the stellar performer of the season, just takes it and runs away with it, and I can see that happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think without further ado, if you can get the guys ready to race and get the button going, we'll get them going. I'll get the settings here right to go,
Yep.
and yeah, we'll see how we go. Looking forward to a very competitive race. Looking at those times.
Alrighty, I have hit the button. I just put the controller down thinking my job was done. No, that's not quite right.
Yeah, but you should try a controller and two keyboards.
Okay, I'm not going to complain now. I'll just be quiet and sit in the back. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights waiting to go out. Race away.
And they're off. Great start there by Kiwi Matt. Stickers right in the mix, but he does have a couple of Corvettes snipping right in his heels. And is that Warbo looking a little bit up the outside?
Nah,
No, two cars don't fit there.
Oh, we've got Danico and D Reed battling into the curves. And Nefis were biting in, wanting to have a bit of a say about it. Mr. Bumcrack is pushing Danico wide a little bit, gets through.
And just looking at the field behind him, we have a pretty, a little bit sideways there from Warbo on the throttle, but it looks like all clean so far, which really good to see.
The Rudsy, Danico, Neff and Bumcraig pack is really having it out there through the Degners. They've all cleaned it up and coming out the other side, but Evil Evo is wanting to actually catch up on those positions that were rightfully his in the qualifying session, so he's not mucking around. He's really sniffing on the back of Rudsy at the moment. Kiwi Matt already skipped away to the point, a tune of 0.6 of a second, and just stretching those legs on that Jag. Sticker's holding his own. He's got a 1.8 second gap back to Warbo, so go boss. Give him help.
We're just watching Rudsy put a heap of pressure. He's got Evil Evo behind him. He's putting a heap of pressure onto Nick No, but we'll flick back up to Stickers in P2. Just under a second behind, but not a bad place to be in while the nerves settle. It looks like we've got a really good clean lap here. Just the triangle to get through.
Oh, someone's gone wide. That was Rudsy. 130R has bitten him a little bit and he went wide, but luckily he's been able to fall back into the snake and continue on. Evil Evo just got a bit snapper oversteer out of the Casio triangle, and Rudsy is looking to say something about that into the first turn.
Yeah,
but the good news is the first lap's over.
First lap's over.
No safety
we
car.
Are racing, and just have a quick look at here. We've got cars to watch everywhere, but we're just going to have a look at Niv. He's under a bit of pressure. It's only 2.5 tenths back to Mr. Bumcrack. These Mercs have seemed to found a decent setup for this track. So, off the back of, really good handling, they seem to have a tune here that is going to maximise that.
Well, you're not spending too much time at full throttle. I mean, basically from turn 1 to the hairpin, you are really trying to keep that handling dynamic nice and stable through there, because that's probably the part of the track that suit the Mercs the most. And once we come out of the hairpin into the spoon curve and beyond is where we start to see the vets really stretch their legs. So this infield section is probably handling to the Mercs a bit better than what it is to vets, so they're able to gain or maybe limit the amount of lost time through there.
Yeah, certainly. And one of the problems, I've only had a little bit of practice in the week leading up to this for our round next week, of course, but found it really hard. A lot of the corners, they're fairly flat. They don't have that camber to hold a card on, and when you car on there, and when you're trying to contain horsepower, you just got to get a tune that you can look after your tyres, but try and maximise that mechanical grip.
Well, the curve before Dunlop is called anti-bank curve for a reason, right?
Yeah, it might be anti-banker next week when I get on it.
No money for you.
No. It'll be go directly to jail. So we'll just go up the front.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
No. We'll just go up the front. We'll just quickly go through the field. We've got Kiwi Matt on just 2.2 seconds up on Stickers, who's just managed to ink a little bit of a gap there to Warbo in P3. Who's under a bit of pressure from his sister team driver, D. Reed from Doghouse. Niff has been closing in on this group now. We'll just keep that, watch that as a marker. He's 3.6 off the lead, just half a second or so behind D. Reed. Niff is 4.043 off the lead. Back into P6, Mr. Bumcrack. And with a chain of cars behind him, we've got Dinico in P7. Evil 8. Evil has made his position up to P8, so he's made a few positions there. It'd be interesting to see just how hard he pushes, because with the vet...
Well, he can almost read the part number of Danico's bumper in that Merc, so it's coming.
Yep. There is a tipping point with the vets around pushing aggressively and balancing out your tyre and fuel. So, but Evil is one of the best in the vets, so we'll see how he goes with that. P9, we have Rudsey, who finished second at Sardegna last week in his race, in that very powerful Black Rose Racing Jaguar team. P10, we've got Big J in the second Lightning Motorsport Merlin entry. And then we have VF for Dadson in the
Oh, Casio Triangle, going Evo along with Rudsey pushing through. Oh, yeah, that made me suck air. That could have all come to tears. Sorry to cut you off, Banker, but that was 3 into Casio Triangle.
Yep. And I was a bit slow. I was actually pushing the wrong keyboard then for the replay, so forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll get there. Right, back up the front.
Looks like Rudsey has a bit of pace at the moment for Danico, but let's see what's going up at the front.
Yep. Yeah, just that Stickers, Warbo and D. Reed triangle there is... there is nothing between these cars, so I think as fuel and tyres come into play later in this first stint, we'll definitely get an understanding where that's at. Let's have a look at Dinigo. He's half a second to the good of Rudsey, but Rudsey's, well, he made the pass. He's got a bit of an angry train behind him there with Evil and Big J. So again, how will they go? Driving, racing hard in the opening stint, where will the tyres and fuel be at the end?
Well, the one thing that we're forgetting with all this, even though it does look completely clear at the moment, but is weather. I love a wet duel. I love seeing rain, and hopefully we might get some. I mean, they're probably not hoping it, but for me, I really want to see what the Mercs do against the Jags and the Vets in the rain. So hopefully we might get something, but I'm pretty sure they're in the driver's seat at the moment going, no, it can stay fine, thank you.
Yeah, it's bright and sunny, and you know it's something this season that we haven't. While we've been on tracks that where it can rain, we've been fortunate enough to not have it. So yeah, it'll really be interesting. But we see those crowds roll in. Keep an eye on that rain radar.
Well, no one's got their rain radar at the moment. Everybody's got their track map up except for Mr. Greggs, which only has his brake wise. So it looks like everyone's not too worried about their fuel at the moment. Looks like they know their fuel numbers and where their shift points are, so they're not too concerned about how their fuel burn is. They've got a rough idea that's pretty good.
And again, I haven't had a lot of opportunity in the past week to get ready for the race next week, but what are your thoughts on does the fuel save come into play here?
I'm not sure. I haven't had that much practice. I haven't turned on the PlayStation for Suzuka yet. But I mean, the Mercs have been usually pretty good on the fuel, a bit better than the Vets. But the guys in the Vets seem to have kind of worked their way around it a little bit. So how they're shifting and how they've got the gearbox set up seems to be a bit better than what we were hoping for in the Merc, and kind of scrubbed away our advantage a little bit.
Yeah, it's but like I said, with the Vets, and there's what three in this field, four in this field actually. They do have that tipping point where you can easily overdo it and find yourself at a deficit in both tyres and fuel towards an end of a stint. So you need to think all the way through the race and not get sucked into battles if you're running to the numbers. And you know, to a degree, it's something that the Jags, so far from what I've seen, they can run pretty hard start to finish. And yeah, like you said with the Mercs, depends on the track, but then, you know, I think Stickers won outright in the first round in the Merc, and he's certainly
he did.
Holding a good position here and holding off the
wide in the triangle.
Yep. And also CP Motorsports third in the team standings without a joker, so running Mercs. So, yeah, they're thereabouts. But also, guys, if you see some just software capture pages just throwing up randomly on the screen, I don't think I can do anything about it, but it's letting the broadcast continue. So rather than continue to play with settings caused by the updates, we'll just let things roll, and fingers crossed. Hopefully I'll put a commentator's curse on that.
Well, Stickers had to defend a little bit into the first corner there, but he seems to be doing okay through the S's. Warbo was literally right up alongside him, but obviously on the outside doesn't work into first turn at Suzuka, so he's managed to pull a little bit more on him, so hopefully that'll keep him clear for the time being. I hope the boss does better than what he did in the Casio Triangle this time.
Yeah,
we'll Neff on D Reed. Contact into the barrier.
Saw that, yeah. Just trying to capture where Damo Reed comes out at.
There might have been a little bit of lag involved in that. It's got a bit of damage to it at the moment. The front left and bumper. It's all cleared now anyway. But very vulnerable at the moment to Big J.
Yeah, no, unfortunately it... just showed, didn't quite clearly show what it was, but maybe lag, maybe some contact, not sure.
Could be a bit of both there.
Yeah.
But either way, Niff has continued on, so according to his screen, he doesn't believe that there was contact, and I've had that before. As far as my concern, my screen said, nope, no contact, and revisit the replay, yeah, there was. I see everyone's just kind of settling into a rhythm now, other than obviously D. Reed, who got shuffled back there. But everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. not seeing them do the timesheets are light, but at this point of the race, they don't need to either. So Niff's up to 4th, trying to do his best to eat his way into that gap into Warbo. Down to 1.1 now through the S's. Obviously Niff in the infield section here will probably be taking that Merc to its best advantage. Warbo not being able to do much damage on Stickers at the moment. Stickers 4.6 seconds behind Kiwi Matt, who's just running away with it at the moment. And when you've got around about a 5-second lead, kind of gives you just that little bit of flexibility to work the tyres how you want and spend the fuel how you want. So I don't think he's going to be in too much of an alarm towards the end of this race.
No worries. What I think we should do, lap 7, let's have a look at tyre and fuel update, brought to you by APR Automotive, just to see where these guys are, what compound, how they're looking, and their fuel position.
Can do. Well, we'll start with Kiwi Ant, obviously, now that he's in the lead. The first thing I will preface this in this APR words are hard, tyre and fuel update, is that everybody's on mediums. No one has gone to go for the softs, so they've all started on the racing mediums, and it's all about how they're managing it from here on out. So Kiwi Matt, he's down to probably 60% of his racing mediums. Stickers just over half, a little bit better than Kiwi Matt, and Kiwi Matt has just under half a tank, and Stickers is looking a little bit less than that. Warbo, wow, his tyres are looking really good, only around about 70% and just under half a tank. Neff, he's really starting to take some life out of those tyres at about 50% and just over half a tank, so even though he's pushing that Merc, he's not chewing fuel. He's best out of the lot of them so far. We've got Mr. Bumcraig, who's, wow, I don't know what he's doing there, but his tyres are the best so far, probably around about 80% good at the moment. Just under half a tank. We go back to Rudsy in the Jag, down to around about 50% in tyres, just under half a tank of fuel. Danico, probably around about 60% of tyres, just under half a tank, just a sliver under half a tank, so he's doing pretty well. We've got D. Reed, who's chewing a bit more fuel in that vet. Unfortunately got shuffled down the order, but his tyres are sitting around about 70%. Ivlevo, he's really chewing fuel. He's about halfway between quarter and a half and about halfway through tyres. Big J, around about 65-70% and just over halfway between half and a quarter. VF, just under a half now and probably around about 60% worn. And Greg's, he's just over a quarter of a tank and running wide at the hairpin, and medium tyres probably around about 60%, so he's doing the best he can, 14 seconds behind, but everyone's on mediums and everyone's about the same fuel.
Yeah, very interesting with the fuel piece. There's a couple of guys in the back part of the field that are really pushing to regain position. They're certainly down a bit in fuel, so the guys up the front will pick up some time in the pits with that 4 litre a second refuel rate. But yeah, they've all seemed to have enough tyres to comfortably do whatever stint this looks like. The big question will be is where people decide to pit, and this is where the tyre strategy might come in too.
The biggest enigma for me at the moment is Niff. His fuel is far better than anyone's at the moment. He's literally just gone just under half a tank, but his tyres are down to around about 40%, and he is not slowing down. He is, call it 7 tenths behind Warbo and Stickers, and he's gaining on them. He's down to 6 tenths already. So even though his tyres are wearing and they're the worst of the field, his fuel's the best, and he's still gaining time. So watch for him at the back end, because he's only 6.6 seconds behind the leader, so we could see him suddenly vault up the order here.
Yeah, the other thing, and Niff is certainly one of them, and there's a couple of others like Kiwi, Matt, Stickers, and counting Warbo in there. Do they run longer on mediums and throw a soft session in? Go well.
They could. I don't think Niff's going to have that option. I don't think Nif's going to have that option. I'd say on lap 11, lap 12 at best, he is going to have to come in. He won't. I can tell you now, he won't have that choice. Because I look back to Stickers and Warbo, and their tyres are maybe 60% back to Nif, 35-40 at best.
Okay, yeah.
It's funny, you go back to Bumcrack after that, and his tyres look fabulous on that Merc versus Nif's. Ruddsy's using his tyres a bit too, probably around about the same as Nif's at the moment. So, hello.
He's made a pretty hard charge up the field, and we've got Domo Reed here going into 130R.
130R.
Dinago, and he's made that pass stick.
Trying to come back. Don't think he's going to get in the triangle. No. D-Reed now's at Apex.
His teammate just on the other side of Dinago here, so it'll be interesting to see if they can work with each other to maximise whatever's left in this first stint. Just have a quick look at Air Revo and see if anything's on the go here as it runs through the first corner and into the snake.
Interesting, he's braking a little bit beyond the apex there. I'm not too sure. He might be getting a little bit understeer out of the corner. Might be just trying to settle the car.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was one of the lower. Had used his fronts a little bit more there, so just maybe forcing a little bit of understeer.
My surprise so far is Big J hasn't really been able to do much damage to the rest of the field. The times he was throwing up in practice were pretty good, but I'm not too sure why he hasn't been able to really vault up the order. I did expect a little bit more out of him.
Yeah, sometimes in the race it's just hard when you get into traffic. Your game plan goes sort of out the window because you're being forced to drive to a different pace and sometimes more aggressively than you need to get some clean air. But he still has we've got 14 laps, 12 laps to go, so he's certainly good enough to grab a few positions back. He did use a bit of fuel too, I think, Big J, so those seconds in the pits might hurt him.
Tell you what, Stickers is doing a bloody good job here of keeping Warbo at bay. He's maintaining that half second to 7/10 of a second consistently throughout the lap, even though the vet obviously has the legs down the straight. So props to the boss at the moment. He's doing bloody well. I expected that vet to be around him by now, but he's already half distance, and he's keeping it in front legitimately.
Yeah, Warbo had pretty good tyres, didn't he? I think he had a bit of an advantage on Stickers.
Tiny bit of advantage, maybe 5% at best, but they're very similar. So is their fuel. But Nif, even though his tyres are screaming in pain, he's gaining on Warbo. He's now down to 0.3 of a second. That's phenomenal. And I noticed that at Bathurst as well. Nif, even though his tyres were hurting, he was still able to lay down a lap time that makes your jaw drop.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's certainly very, very skilled on pretty much every circuit. He's been in Sector 1 for a while, and he's been across all these circuits. So he's definitely. You can just see there. He's having a look at different lines, so he's making the tyres work.
He's also a controller, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, I think he does drive on a controller.
I believe he is controller, so it just goes to show that you can actually make the controller work, even though it does hurt the tyres a little bit. His legitimate pace is what gets him through that tyre burn.
This is where
Stickers a little bit wide.
Protesting.
Yep. They're screaming, "I'm done!" So we'll decides to get a bit of an undercut by coming in. Where's Kiwi Matt? He's just coming through 130R now.
Yeah,
interesting to see if he decides to try and negate any undercut by coming in now. But we'll see. I would expect that everyone's going to say no and call it in. And and Kiwi Matt is doing so.
Yep. So he's in with 18%.
Niff! Look at, I told you he was doing well. Look at that fuel number. What a save. He's gonna, that's 10 litres right there.
Yep. Sorry guys, you will see the software glitch away as we cut to the pits, but
Big J stayed out. He's decided to try and run longer.
run the overcut.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he's going to get any advantage out of that. I mean, his tyres are around about 45% at the moment.
So Kiwi Match
Kiwi
out.
Match, yep, filled at 85%.
We've got
Niff
out
just
in
did the
third.
same.
So he's
And
jumped,
yeah, 3.6 behind.
jumped a couple of positions. We'll just let them all run through their pit cycle, and then we'll have a look at how much fuel they took on. And it's, when they're all in there, it's a bit hard to keep a very close watch on the numbers.
Did I just see what I think I saw? I did. I'm just going to keep that to myself to the moment, so we do an APR fuel and tyre update a little bit later, but something interesting just happened.
Yeah, sorry, my screen went blank. I couldn't even see it. So, but like I said, I'm not going to restart or touch anything, given that 3 of the software programs we use all had updates.
Big J at 18.5 seconds in front now, and that's come down to almost 18. So Matt is not stuffing around on his outlap. Niff has taken that down from 3.5 to 3.3. Oh, there it is again. So
And also,
I think
Niff's jumped from 5th to 2nd. So, what did you see? We'll bring the audience in on it.
Warbo jumped stickers in the pits too.
Yeah, actually,
His
just,
stickers
yeah.
are now, with a 3-second penalty for the boss. He must have crossed the pit lines.
Easily done here, very easily done.
Oh no, boss, no. Anyway, I saw something very interesting.
He's got 6 seconds to the better of Mr. Bumpcrack, which might just be enough there to let him hold P5 and then run, but it'll certainly expand that gap out to Warbo.
Yeah. So Danico has decided to take the punt in the Merc and gone for racing softs. Everyone else has stayed on racing mediums.
Yeah,
I was not expecting to see softs.
No, we've had tracks where the Merc, I'm just trying to think which one it was. Was it Bathurst where the Merc showed the way with the softs?
Yeah.
And also I think at Sedegna. So if it can be done, we'll see it, and I'm sure Group 1A are watching closely to see what unfolds here.
But the jump by Niff, phenomenal. 3.3 behind Kiwi Matt, so Kiwi Matt's maintaining it. Oh no, VF just dropped out.
That's a shame. Tech Gremlins, and yeah.
He did have an issue earlier in the safety car restart tester, and that was his. He couldn't get a gear in when we were trying to accelerate back up to 80, and it just kept revving out like it was in neutral. So I don't know if he hit his if there was a malfunction or if he hit his clutch pedal, and Gran Turismo has just taken it as, you need to reuse the clutch pedal, but he was struggling to find a gear even though he was in, I think it was 5th at the time. So it could be a hardware gremlin, but that's sad to see a DNF for VF.
Yep, so just trying to think where the has stickers served that penalty?
Yep.
Yes,
Kiwi
penalty
Matt
burns
purple.
earlier on, yeah. So he's still been able to handle that. Mr. Bumpcrack's halved the gap, but the big thing will be the gap to Warbo now is blown out to just on 5 seconds.
Kiwi Matt should cop a fastest lap here. I would assume.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep, 2:03.529, and we've got Danico on softs all over Runty. I thought he was actually going to have a bit of a try there through the triangle.
Danico's just going to have to be a little bit patient here. Those softs are wearing a bit faster than what you would like them to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing getting past early in the stint, but then you've got to hold it as the mediums come back in their own.
See, everyone's spaced out a little bit since the stops. The different fuel burns have really kind of mixed up the field in terms of a little bit of space in between some people.
Yeah, also just on what they took on, but I think it's probably not too early given that they're a fair bit of the way through lap 14. Let's have a look at the tyre and fuel, just what the settings were, get a bit of a gauge out of the pits and let the viewers do some maths and just work out where the cars are positioned in real time. So, APR and Automotive, you're in safe hands for their tyre and fuel updates. So, start at Kiwi Matt, mate.
Kiwi Matt, racing mediums, maybe about 5% worn. He's about halfway between half and 3/4. I think he took it around about 85 litres, if I'm not correct, and everyone else is around about the same, except for Greg's, who went the full tank because he was almost empty.
Yeah.
Back to Neff, also on mediums, a little bit worse worn, just almost 90% left on those, and very similar, in fact exactly the same as Kiwi Matt. We've got Warbo, whose tyres are looking spectacular with maybe 95% worn and just over half a tank. Stickers is doing very well, he's almost 3 tank of fuel and maybe 95% worn. Racing mediums on Mr. Bumcrack, halfway between 3/4 and a half. That's about 90% on those tyres and halfway between 3/4 and a half. You've got Danico, who's coming into the pits with well-worn softs at half and just over half a tank. Big J, just a small sliver because he came in a lap later, so he's only just worn a little bit off those mediums and a little bit under 3/4 of a tank. And then we got Greg's, who's around about 95% good on his tyres and exactly 3/4 of a tank at the moment. But if you can just have a quick look at the horizon there, Mr. Panko, see some clouds.
Ooh. Yep, certainly losing the sun. The question is,
Oh no,
do anyone have their rain radar up?
Negatory, they're leaving that to driver problems, I think. That being said, that the hairpin is nice and sunny, so interesting.
Yeah, certainly not something we want to see at a late stage of a race, but yeah, this place in past seasons for us has been very uncertain.
Yeah, but that's how I got one of my race wins, so I'm partial to rain coming.
Yeah, I must admit I won on a wet track.
So that's how I went from last to first in this track, was nailing the strategy in terms of the rain. So I'm sorry, but I just do not share your despair in possible rain coming. Give me rain, give me rain.
Bring it on. Yes.
Oh, Neff gone wide at 130R there. I have to say everyone's behaving.
They've all they've right through the field now. They're pretty much all inked out a bit of a gap. The fast guys, we'll see Neff there, his times is in the 204s. If he has a bad one, it's in the 205s. There's Kiwi Matt. Yeah, he's into the 3s and 4s now after the pit stop, so he's certainly not backing off at all. Warbo's time, misconsistency, before and after the pit stop, but just sitting in those low to mid 4s. And he's also, since Stickers unfortunately got that penalty, he's been able to ink out another second, or 2 seconds there actually, on Stickers. So you can see there Stickers 0.4 and then into the low 0.5s. So just a little bit of disruption to the rhythm there caused by that penalty. Mr. Bumcrack again in the 4s and 5s, but a very consistent consistent lap times. But he's got best part of 3 seconds either side of him. Rudsey, he might have had a little bit of a slow one with a 2:06 there, but again, since the pit stop, solidly in the fours. Damo Reed, he's back up to 7th after that mishap very early in the race. Just down as part of Degner. But he's 1.2 off Rudsey, so we're seeing that gap come down a little bit. So we'll just have a quick eye on this. And you also got his teammate Evo 1.4 to the rear. So not sure what they can do, but
well, I did expect Evo to be a little bit further into the fight than this, because we know that Evo is absolutely no slouch when it comes to our league, and to see him probably the best at 2:03.858, and the rest of the time and fours since the stop is a little bit surprising. Could be a lack of practice, could be setup, could be a number of things. Might just be his off night for all we know, but I just expected a little bit more out of Evo considering past performances, but you know, we've always got those nights where it just doesn't go your way.
Yeah, certainly, and it is one thing. The vet in traffic, it's very easy to take the edge of it. Where if you're chasing but not pursuing, I guess that's what the word is. If you're just settling in behind someone, you can run it quite lean and protect the tyres. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he picks up through the race. We'll just head back up to Warbo just to see. He's sort of holding that gap from Stickers, and he made a little bit there on Niff. So again, as we see, if Niff has any problem with his tyres, Warbo will be there based on his first stint. He'll well and truly be there to capitalise on it. Scooter's chimed into the chat. A Kiwi in the lead, beautiful. So yeah, they tend to come over here and steal our titles.
A lot this season. Almost been able to take around about 3/10 out of Niff this lap into Spoon. So I'm not too sure if Niff had another little excursion at Spoon onto the AstroTurf over the Ripple Strip. I don't know, but a little bit surprising there. Stickers is all alone by himself. They can see Warbo in front and 4.5 to Mr. Bumcrank behind. And then Rudsey another 2.5 seconds.
Just caught the edge of that there. That looked like what was that, through the triangle? Rudsey and Damo Reed looked like they almost come together through there.
I was on with Rudsey there. I didn't get to see Mr. Reed notice the call out, so. Oh, I can see why though. Rudsey's tyres, they're not the best. Let's put it that way. They're screaming in pain, and I assume that D Reed will be in front of him in the not too distant future. In fact, Damo Reed's tyres at the moment, compared to Rudsey and Evo, are quite significantly better. Well, I guess everyone's kind of having their own slice of the racetrack at the moment. There's no one really sniffing on each other's tails except for Rudsey and Mr. Reed.
Yeah, and well, it's a big track. It's 5 kilometres long. It is a tricky place to pass, very tricky. And he's up the inside here, really. I think Rudsey will get him back, yep.
All Damo needs to do is just be patient here. I think he knows that he's got Rudsey. It's just a case of being able to being aware of where he can set up the pass. And once he's past him, it won't be a problem.
Yeah, you could see the
Just
speed differential coming into Spoon there. That was
yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah,
And even then, through the second part of that Spoon corner, he
yeah,
the back of Rudsey because Rudsey just couldn't get the power down.
yeah. Was able to turn quite tightly on into the apex and cleared him without any dramas. Oh, Rudsey's poking his head out there to have a look. That's let Evil Evo close right up on the back of him, so he could be under more pressure here in the next lap. But doing a sensational job, sitting in P7, filling into high division.
Well, it's getting some bloody good practice for next week against us, so
Unfortunately.
no doubt he'll turn it on. Well, the way you get better is racing better guys, so
Absolutely.
we expect him to win by about 30 seconds next week. Very disappointed if he doesn't.
Yeah. Or he doesn't learn his tyre problems. And,
we wouldn't wish that upon him now,
no,
would we?
No,
Come
on,
no, we're honest racers. We're not gonna mention any bad luck.
Yeah. Unless he's just in front of us. Yeah, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but Evil Evo is well and truly applying pressure now. So how are his tyres compared to Reed's in front?
They're not. They're both not much, but a lot better at the same time. Just that they're both really taking a chunk out of their tyres. Evil Evo's taking less of a chunk out of his tyres.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way to put it. It's kind of the best dirty shirt. Danico's down to 10th. Did something happen through the stops that I'm not aware of? Because he was further up than that.
Nico, sorry.
Yeah.
I think he put softs on and then he went back into the pits.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he chewed him up. Actually, we've got Evil Evo here through 130R. He's on the inside. Can he hold it?
Oh!
No.
Rudsey punched him on the nose then.
Yeah. And no room there under brakes. Looks like a great passing opportunity, but the nature of the triangle, it's really not.
Rudsey will be a shock duck here, unfortunately.
Yeah, not a huge speed differential outright. It's just the just seems to be the tyres kicking in here.
Yeah, and certainly doesn't have that mid-corner speed. But he does have track position, and sometimes that's all you need. He's got effectively a lap and a half to go.
And if he drives consistent lines, he can force Evil into an error. But lap 20 of 22. We'll just stay on this for a few corners. It's the only main battle on the track at the moment, looking at the track map, and then we'll just flick back to the top three and see how the time is there with 2 laps to go after this one. Alright guys, in the chat too, don't forget to put your drive today nominations in, just so we can look at who, in your view, has been the most consistent, the fastest, just done the best job on the night, and also don't forget to hit that like button. We survive on that, so just ignore the lateness and the little black screens that appear every now and again, but it's racing that's been quality. Oh, a little bit wide there, Evil Evo. He's lost probably 4 tenths.
Yeah, out of the hairpin, he was a little bit wide, and it was not great for the time.
Yep, we'll just cut to the top 3 just to see what it looks like there. So Kiwi Matt 5 seconds up on Niff in P2. Warbo's, it's been hovering around that 3 seconds for a few laps. Is there any difference fundamental between Niff's car and Warbo's car that might see that 3-second get cut back?
No. If anything, it's advantage Warbo. But I don't think you're going to find anything, considering that Nick does exceptionally well on tyres.
Yeah. Yep. No worries. And we've got Stickers. He's managed to stay in the back of Warbo and then even improve by a few tenths. And Mr. Bum cracks around 6 seconds off to the back. D. Reed has pretty much cemented 6th spot here, and you can see the difference in tyres there. He's just pulled 4 seconds on Rudsey just in the course of 2 laps. The Rudsey Evo battle continues, and Rudsey's doing a bloody good job here, just holding him off. Just we'll stay on these guys before we go further, just to see what happens on that run into spoon here.
Rudsey going defensive and making sure he doesn't stick it up the inside, but drive out of here is going to be very important, and Rudsey again. He is so strong out of that hairpin. I saw him last one. Evo got a little bit wide, and Rudsey just pulled on him, and he's done it again.
Yeah, certainly got some better corner speed, but will he hold the inside? Actually, has he got it? No, I think Rudsey's going to hold this.
No, I don't think so. I think Evo's got him. Yeah, he does. Pretty much the same manoeuvre happened to Rudsey from Mr. Damo Reed as well, out of the spoon corners.
Just slightly, oops, got Rudsey here. What's he going to do? Will he back out of that? Yeah. Yeah, there wasn't a great straight line speed difference there, but it looks like Evil definitely got the drive out of the spoon curve on that downhill section. That's helped him do that. So. Right,
when your tyres are around about 20% better, they should.
Yeah. So we've got just Big J's now. Rudsey's gone wide there into turn 1. So that'll give
let J past.
Big J. He's had the chance to run past. So I think that's just the pressure of the tyres.
Yeah.
And when you're having to hold off those other 2 guys for 3 or 4 laps, that's certainly going to take the edge off them. So we've got Big J 1.4 behind Evo, Rudsey 1.5 seconds back, but it's probably a fair chance he might even close a bit of that back up. And then we've got 13, nearly 14 seconds back, and then Greg's, who's also filling in, sitting at 30 seconds back. So, and I'm pretty sure Greg's had an extra pit stop as well in the race.
No, he just had the one. Just the
one. Final lap. It's so going up through 130. Kiwi Matt, 5.8 seconds to the good of Niff, and very well controlled race. Done an exceptional job again for a very strong team this season. Going into the triangle for the last time. You see that front wheel turning in, scrabbling for grip, but he's just made it easy. So congratulations, Kiwi Matt, P1, great win.
What's the flag?
Yep. Niff sitting very solid P2, Warbo P3, great effort, great job done. Stickers also P4, he did pick up that 3-second penalty that was really hard to come back from. And here we go, we've got Bumcrack just across the line from Damo Reed, who's had a sensational second half of the race. Evo to the good of 1 second on Big J. Rudsey, great fill-in drive for his team in P9. Denicno will finish in P10. Just coming across the line now. And we've got
wondering
Greg's.
what could have been.
Yeah, absolutely. And Greg's coming on to 130R for the last time tonight. Again, another great fill-in drive for Symmetry.
I think Danico will really be ruining that tyre choice in the hopes of vaulting up the order, and it's really cost him. That soft choice, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I was really surprised just how quickly they did wear out in that second stint. And well done, Greg's. across the line, and that will round out our category 1B race. It's a just get the lobby up for you.
Oh, he's even got the lemon Pyora drink on the back of his helmet from New Zealand. Bloody good drop that though.
All right, give me a second. Okay, here are the results. So the podium, P1 Kiwi Matt, best lap of two, he's got the best lap as well, 2.03529. Not that much quicker than Nifs, who finished in the second step of the podium, and on third step, Warbo in the vet. About 5/10 off on the best lap. And then the following order, we've got Stickers, Mr. Bumcrack, Damo Reed, Evil Evo P7, Big J P8, Rudsy P9, 10th place Dinico, 11th place Greg's, and VF unfortunately had a DNF with a technical issue. So, your thoughts on the race, mate?
Very straightforward. Obviously, I did have the lobby up earlier today, just so they could get used to my lobby settings. And obviously, they took full advantage of that because everybody was very solid in terms of how they executed their race. So obviously, they kind of only found their little piece of turf and didn't really see much of a battle pack after that. So they did their practice and it came out the other side pretty well. Kiwi Matt, just an exceptional driver, of course. When you do light the flag, it's always a great feeling. So it's a little bit disappointed for Rudzy. That's it. For Rudzy's disappeared back down the order. That he couldn't hold on to that seventh. That would have been a bloody impressive drive if he did.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the unlucky part was didn't go with the softs. The track just chewed them up big time. Okay, your drive of the day.
Well, unfortunately, it was going to be Rudzy because if that was a 21 lap race, to get seventh in this field in dying tyres, division up from where you were, is just an absolutely exceptional performance. But I'm going to have to go with Nif. He started P7. And then he brought it back. So my driver of the day is definitely Nif. He even looked like he was going to sniff the lead there for a minute. So DOTD goes to Nif for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking at the track, we got Debrev, driver of the day, Nif, Deborah Fish, driver of the day, Nif. And look, my driver of the day, honourable mention to Damo Reed, having, the bit of went wide, I think it was, in Degner, or there might have been a bit of lag or a touch, but yeah, it did put him back. He managed to come back to a very strong finish. But yeah, my driver today also for Nif, just coming from pretty much the second half of the field through to P2 and managing the car through all that with very consistently quick lap times. So got to say that this Category 1 division, they're animals when it comes to just setting consistently fast laps. So no, that's
While
it.
saving fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. How they do it, I don't know. But Lemonator, thanks for your race directing tonight and your co-commentary. It's very much appreciated, and sort of this wraps up our Cat 1 Group B driver race brought to you by APR Automotive. We'll take a very quick intermission, round up the Cat 1A drivers, and we'll be back with you in 5 minutes. So bear with us, guys. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Good night all.
Good night. Welcome back, everyone. We have the Group A drivers ready to go. We've given them the 2 minute signals, so we should be able to get this race started really, really quickly. But first of all, welcome to Carbon Boy, the Cat 2A driver for APR Motorsport, who is race directing tonight. How are you? And what are your thoughts on what you've seen the guys do in the warm-up?
Good evening, Banker, and good evening, everybody watching out there in the wild, the YouTube. I hope you're having a great time so far this evening. It's been pretty interesting watching these guys in Cat 1A do their warm-ups and go through the motions in the practice lobby. We've seen some very interesting times. I feel like there's a couple of drivers not so much sandbagging as maybe just not showing all their cards at this point in time. So whether they choose to unleash their full ability in qualifying or not remains to be seen. We are quite short on numbers, surprisingly, here tonight. There's a couple of drivers who have unfortunately retired from the season, so we're down two, and our Brocky 05 Sim Racing team owner, Brocky, has real life things to deal with, so he will not be on track with us this round. But we're also missing stage the Jamco driver, Sneaky Stevo, and the other BSR driver, Mr. Sways, have yet to see him in the lobby tonight. So at this point in time, all drivers are guaranteed a top 10 position.
Yep, just looking, I'm pretty sure we have 9 on track. Is that who we should have?
That is correct. Once Mr. Heafy ticks himself in, I think we're just going to have to get qualifying underway.
Absolutely.
Haven't had any word on Sways or Sneaky Stevo.
All right, looks like everyone has ticked in. So, mate, I agree. And with the delays early on the night, I reckon we get straight into quali for Cat 1 Group A, brought to you by APR Automotive. Mate, if you want to hit the button, they've had their notice, and we'll get into this, and I'll just get things
easy
done
from
this side.
The big blue and orange button has been smashed. And speaking of smashing buttons, everybody watching, if you could smash that like button on the video, that'll certainly help our algorithm a little bit and also let us know that you actually like it. Always nice. But the weather here at Suzuka is looking very clear skied, barely a cloud, very, well, actually, I take that back. As our drivers are exiting the pits.
So who we got first on track? Would that be Ricky Bobby?
That is Mr. Yes. Ricky Bobby. He is first out on track with a new choice of white wheels for the APR Motorsport driver.
And his teammate Lenocious sitting second in line. We have Heafy, and look, in their first race, knowing Suzuka for what it can do, it was actually very sunny. It did get a little bit grey for short periods of time, but nothing like this. So hopefully this is early morning fog and burns off. So with Heafy position 3 on the track, Jish position 4. 5 is Dale Tech for Cracker, and we've got Zero Turn Motorsport, Captain Muffin in the vet, 6th on the road, E-Bulk in 7th on the road, Artsy 8th, and Mountain Goat 9th. So we might stay on board with Ricky Bobby, but it's geez, it's almost a bit of a lottery who's going to grab pole on this.
Well, there's a couple of drivers who are floating around the 202 flat mark, so I reckon it might be a bit of a tussle between 3, possibly 4 drivers for that front spot on the grid.
Well, quality
tonight's
in
race?
Group B, 2015s.
Wow,
we had three drivers in the 2015s. It was incredible. Mind you, very sunny track for quali, so whether that makes a difference to time. Just looking at the wind on this one, bit of a tailwind up through the snake. Probably not so much interfering too much with the back section, but yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. We'll see if anyone did have some sandbags in the boot.
It's been quite the challenge here at Suzuka. It looks like for the Corvette owners, while they do enjoy the speed advantage down the long straights that the Suzuka circuit has to offer, there are plenty of technical sections on the track, like the Snake, which young mountain goat's going through now, that will definitely keep the drivers on their toes if their car setup is not perfectly tuned.
Yeah, and we have Lenosius going through the hairpin. He had a moment coming out of the Degner turns, so his first flying lap is going to be burnt here. So it'll be interesting to see if he pits and takes on fresh tyres and has another crack. We're back on board with Ricky Bobby just to see how he runs up through 130R and sets his first fly.
I did notice in the qualifying practice session that we had before this, the drop-off, the tyre degradation of the Racing Soft is quite significant. These guys would get their first flying lap, and then on the second flying lap on the Racing Softs, they would actually lose 2 to 3 tenths in that spoon corner sector, simply because of that little bit of tyre degradation.
202.977 for Ricky Bobby first up, out of the gate. Lenosis has pitted. Heafy 202.492. Ricky Bobby down to fifth. Now Captain Muffin in the vet 202.158. So
there we go. Goaty
201.471. Goaty's in a vet, isn't he?
That is correct.
That's
in
right.
The zero
turn
yellow and purple mobile.
Yeah, so we got both the zero turn cars up there. Sitting very happily in first and second on their first run.
Well, I don't think car setup is an issue for the boys over at Zero Turn with the Corvette. How it will go in the race in terms of fuel usage and front tyre life, well, that remains to be seen. But for now, definitely looking very, very rapid.
Yeah, the right tune, just suspension balance and brake bias can work wonders for them here. They did put in a pretty strong effort in the first race. Also, too, you mentioned about the softs. We did have one driver, I think it's Dinico from memory, did try a bit of a longer stint on mediums, cut to softs, and they just destroyed themselves in about 4 laps. He had to make an additional stop. So the track having not a lot of cambridges is not kind to them.
So just checking in on Gish here. He's on his second flying lap. He's chosen not to duck in after his first one. We're coming down the back straight here. We just get a bit of an indicator of where he's at in terms of his time. Oh, and he's 8 tenths down.
Yes.
So
See what you mean about that tyre degradation there.
Yep, that the front right-hand tyre cops most of the abuse. Although having said that, the front left is almost as badly worn, but pretty safe to say we'll see Gish into the pits right now for a fresh set of rubber. And he will come back out and try and chase down that 2014, which is astonishingly quick there from young Goaty.
Goaty's just peeled into pits, so he'll only get one flyer as he comes out of this. They're all in the same boat, but we'll get on board with Lenosius here. So this is his out lap. A little bit twitchy there coming onto the straight. So he's got to make this one count. nervous front end there.
Yeah, I was in a chat with the APR boys before the race tonight, and there was a lot of discussion going on in regards to minor changes in the car setup, just to try and get the car handling to his liking. Not sure if he managed to get it dialed in 100%.
Yeah, and it's really hard doing those changes late on race day too. You can almost tend to make too many changes sometimes rather than just one setting. Very, very twitchy out of there where he had the issues on his first flyer.
If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
No, and again, so we'll cut back, but I think that we'll just wait and see how he goes up the back section just to get an idea of how his time is looking.
Well, along with Ebol, Kalinosis hasn't actually set
a time
an actual official qualifying time.
So we should have a timing marker up here.
.7.
Yeah, I think that's
probably. I'd say that's about a second and a bit down on where Geesh was at.
Yeah, we'll watch him through here and just see his first time come through, and then we'll come back to the guys behind. 202.980. Let's go down across the line. Couldn't better it. Captain Muffin. Jesus got, this will be his flying lap, and he's on, because he run a different tyre pit sequence. So Merc, you can hear the tyres processing, so he's giving it a bit, and he's purple. So coming out of that spoon section down into Degner. So a very tricky part of the track. That's a big bump on that curb too.
I'm just riding on board with Artsy at the moment, who's currently 6. In that first sector, he's almost 2 tenths purple, riding in behind Mountain Goat in that zero-turn Corvette. And it's just interesting to watch how much the Thunder Motorsport Jag is able to catch up through the twisty bits on the Corvette, and then get to a straight bit of road and then just watch the Corvette disappear off into the distance.
Yeah, the Jags are very, very solid car this year. It's this season. It's just watching Geesh here as he comes up into the back section. He was 2.5 tenths to the pole. You just see through this final timing marker. Yeah, nearly 2 tenths, 1.18. So we'll just hang on here, and then I think we've got Mountain Goat and Captain Muffin behind him, but see how they go. Tight line. Bang. That's a great...
Wow. 2:01.260.
Fastest time of the night by a long way. But here's Goaty. We haven't had the chance to watch him through the timing sectors. Personal best, but just a little bit behind. Daltex up into 3rd.
Artsy improved as well. He moved up from 6 into 4th until Dale Teeks pushed him back down another spot.
Yep.
Dale Teeks with a beautiful clutch lap to get himself onto the second row of the grid.
No worries. I'll just get the results up and... All right, here we go. We've the fastest lap tonight by at least across both classes, but a 2:01.260 for Geesh. Nothing in it. Behind him is Mountain Goat in the Vet on a 2:01.411, and third place in quali is Daltex in the Merc, so at a 2:01.561. Then we have Captain Muffle, and then a Muffin, and then a gaggle of F-Type Jags. We got P5 Thunder Artsy, P6 Heafy, P7 Ricky Bobby, P8 Lenosis, who was in the wars a bit in that session, and P9 E-Bulk. So, yeah, very solid qualifying, not a lot between them. Your thoughts on that, Carbon Boy?
Well, that kind of went as I was expecting based on what I'd seen in the practice sessions. With the curveball being thrown in there by Dale Teeks, I didn't really get much of a read on what he was capable of doing because he spent most of the practice session on the medium compound tyre. So there might be something to read into that in terms of his race strategy, but definitely has the pace, dropping into the mid 201s. One of 4 drivers who got a sub 202 lap time.
Yeah, no.
Have had it confirmed that yes, or no, that Mr. Sways will unfortunately not be joining us tonight, and I've had no word from the Jamco camp in regards to Sneaky Steve-O's making it tonight. So
yeah, and the fact that we're running quarter of an hour behind too, I think we bite the bullet and we run with the compressed field of 9. But just looking at those times, I'm really interested to see how this race plays out, especially between you've got the zero turn cars, the CP car, and the 2 Mercs, 2 Corvettes at top of quali, and it's with the Kraken Esports. But the other thing is the Thunder Motorsports. You called it in their quali, but with Artsy and Heafy, and then of course you've got a very powerful team up for APR Motorsports sitting behind them. So I don't think this is said and done for the top 3 or 4 in quali by any stretch. So a lot of difference between race laps and quali. But I think on that note, if you want to push the button, we'll get these guys well and truly on their way.
Happy to do so. Just worth mentioning that cheers to Thunder Artsy for managing to out-qualify his teammate, Heafy. I'm pretty sure there'll be a bit of banter going on in the Thunder Motorsports team radio. A little bit of, got you this time. So team owner putting his driver, well, I wouldn't say putting him back into his place, but anyway, enough waffling from me. Push the button. We'll get things started. Just having a quick look at the sky here at Suzuka, there is a few dark clouds roaming around. So not sure if that's an omen in regards to some potential weather conditions for tonight, but that remains to be seen. As we do have all the drivers on the grid. I'll leave this one to you, Banker.
No worries. So you have 3 lights, 4, 5, long duration. Lights are out and they're racing, and a great start by Distinct Jish in the CP Motorsports, but also Captain Muffin up there I think he might have the run here to get into 3rd place on the first, and he has in the first corner. So really well done there. That's the talk of that vet off the line. Just keep an eye on the back of the field as well, but
yep, there's a few drivers banging doors through the snake here. Lenosis and Heafy not willing to back off or give each other an inch, but very, very respectful racing there. Nobody shoving each other off the circuit, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's a very difficult track, this one. I said before, calling the earlier race, it has the long straights, sweeping curves, but it is just a tricky place to pass.
100%.
Braking zones are deceivingly short too.
There are limited opportunities, so you've really got to set yourself up well in advance to be able to make a passing move. And it's very, very easy to just get stuck behind a car because it's almost impossible to make an overtaking move without taking yourself out or the other person.
Yeah. Also, I'm just looking there, Lenosis, he's really looking racing behind Heafy. So yeah, I think these Thunder guys will put on a real good show tonight. But yeah, we said in the earlier race, fuel, there was only really one driver and that was Niff, who had a pretty decent fuel save, but at silly lap speeds, like over two. Oh, Lenosis is up on the inside here. That was through 130, I think it was.
That's 130R.
Yep. So he's wanting to make up from perhaps missed opportunity in qualifying. Let's go back up and have a look how the front's handling it. But yeah, there is nothing. Just throw a second over the top straight. Nothing in it. But yeah, I think it was Nip that had the fuel save in the first race. Everyone else is pretty much the same. But yeah, he did it still doing 203s, low 204s. So,
wow, that's a very impressive race pace there.
Yeah, there can be a bit of magic in it. It's those that know, they know.
So at the moment, it's looking like the top three of Geesh, Goat, and Muffin are making a little bit of a breakaway here from the rest of the pack, with nearly 2 seconds back to Dale Teeks, who is leading the Thunder and APR motorsport battle. He's got two pairs of teammates right behind him in procession.
Yeah, and they're putting
Definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Now.
Definitely worth keeping an eye on this little pack over the course of the next few laps, I imagine.
Yeah, Archie and Heavy have been racing really well in recent rounds, so they'll be keen to take this up as far as they can tonight.
Now, one thing I have noticed just looking through the field, without giving too much away too early, all the drivers are on the same compound tyre, so there's not going to be a grip advantage, so to speak, for anyone.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let's go back and we'll just have a look from Ricky Bobby's point of view here, just where things are at. It looks bigger on the track, but there's literally 5/10 of the biggest gap between P5 and P8 here. And Captain Muffin, the gap's drifted out to about a second, but it's not necessarily a bad thing on lap 3. If I was in his shoes, I'd probably be short shifting it to an inch of its life and try and hold that second gap or thereabouts, because it'll pay dividends come the pit stop maybe. But yeah, Daltix here is getting caught up in this duel between the two APR and two Thunder Motorsports teams.
Yeah, it's looking like Artsy is looking very, very racy here and trying to find his way past Dale Teeks, but he's also got the additional problem of Lenosis wanting to do the exact same thing to him.
Yeah, and if he doesn't make the move, Lenosis will find a way. So yeah, he's on a hiding to nothing here, Artsy. He's got to do it. But that said, Dale Teeks isn't slow.
100% not.
And
Lenosis just trying to help Artsy there with a little bit of bump drafting there into the hairpin.
Yeah, and we saw in the first race too, the Big Rock, the Kraken esports cars have got a pretty solid tune under them. They're friendly on tyres, fuel, and quite consistently quick lap times.
Oh, Lenosis sends it down the inside of Artsy, coming out of Spoon.
Yeah. A lot of corner speed there, and kept his grip. They gave each other racing room, so it was good to see. So Lenosis will have his head down, sights set on Daltix. Deborah Fish in the chat said, let it rain. The sun does seem to be peeking through, so
I would definitely love nothing more than for the heavens to open here at Suzuka. That would most certainly throw a curveball into the driver's tyre strategy for this race.
Yeah, and there's a couple in this field that are pretty handy in the wet too. We're looking at one of them now.
Gnosis, all kinds of stuff
s-
out of the first turn.
Yeah, and a bit of oversteer flick there. He was nearly on the grass.
He's managed to hold on to it though. He's lost a little bit of ground to Dale Teaks, but that certainly could have ended a lot worse than it did.
Just duck up to the front just to keep an eye on the gaps there. So Gish hasn't got away that. Still 1.7 seconds, which is a very workable gap. Captain Muffin's been able to hold it to about 1.4. And they're, I think, yeah, nearly 3 seconds up the road to, Dale Teaks is nearly 3 seconds down the road. So that gap of 1 to 2 seconds is very manageable on lap 4 of a 22 lap race. Let's go back and have a look at Ricky Bobby. He's got a sea of pink in front of him.
Yep, the APR and Thunder Motorsports cars still running nose to tail, albeit in a slightly different order.
Yeah, the liveries definitely stand out. Great to see.
I will most certainly not be confusing those two teams.
Just have a look at Ebok. He's looks like he's having a bit of grip issue there. He's sort of rolled off to nearly 10 seconds off the back for symmetry. But I've got to say the Astons have been a very, very tricky car to... Actually, we've got a yellow flag there. What's going on with Lenosis? He's in P8.
Oh, he's definitely not looking healthy. He's got some front aero and some right-hand front damage, which I'm going to hazard a guess that he may have just run off at 130R.
Yep, just going to see if we can quickly catch it.
If I were to hazard a guess.
It's got him too late. Yeah.
Very, very unfortunate to drop him down from P5 back to P8. Ricky Bobby, his teammate, still running in P7, up there with the two Thunder drivers. That would have given a fair amount of breathing space for Mr. Dale Teaks, who's still sitting in P4.
Yeah, absolutely. He's out to 1 second, where beforehand it was 2 to 4 tenths.
I'd say he would be most grateful for that extra breathing space right now.
Yeah, well, we'll find out in the wrap-up, yeah, but it seemed like it was 130R. He's just pushed a bit wide there, given that position on the track. Yeah, just when we were on looking at the Aston, we could just see those yellow flags pop up. But yeah, the Aston's been a tricky car this year, and I think only one team are running them. It's correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the Hyperdrive Sim Sports team.
So, yeah, so you unfortunately you do get to have to work the things out on your own. Where back in season 6, they were a fairly dominant car. So just advances made by other manufacturers and growth in tuning abilities. I'm going to have a look at the leader. 2.5 seconds out in front of those two yellow vets.
Young Mountain Goats managed to extend a bit of a lead over his teammate. 2.2 seconds.
Yes, he's pulled 6 tenths out in that last lap and a half. And Gish 203.029, a very rapid race lap. Let's get back and have a look how Dale Teaks is faring. He's holding off the Thunder Boys at the moment. So that might have just given him enough breathing space now that he can consolidate. Look very clean through Degner. So we're about halfway through the first stint. What do you say, Carbon? We look at a tyre and fuel update.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, brought to you by APR Automotive. You're in soft hands. So we'll start with Jish.
Soft hands. Well,
No, soft hands.
I was hoping for safe hands, but
Safe
yes, they
hands,
are
yeah.
also rather soft and
It's
supple.
been a long day.
Anyway,
a lot
all
of
right.
stress.
So up the front in the CP Motorsports Mercedes SLS is our current championship leader, Mr. Jish. Now, I did mention everybody is on the same compound of tyres, and that compound is the racing medium. So his tyres are looking very, very healthy at the moment, very soft and supple. That front right, pretty even wear on those two front tyres, probably at around just under the 20% wear mark, and he is pretty much bang on 3/4 of a tank of fuel. A little bit further back down the field in the zero-turn Corvette is young Mountain Goat. He is not having a great time in comparison in terms of tyre wear. Those front tyres on the Corvette are probably about 35% worn at this point, and probably sitting on about 55% fuel left in the tank. His teammate, Captain Muffin, aka Death to all of the tyres, his front right tyre is pretty much bang on 50% worn right now. So he's going with the strategy of, I've paid for the whole tyre, I'm going to use the whole tyre. And he is smack bang on half a tank of fuel as well. So Captain Muffin doing everything by half, so to speak. P4, Mr. Dale Teeks is having a very good time in terms of tyre and fuel usage. He's probably pretty much even with a Jish in terms of where those front tyres are about 15% worn, and he's probably got about 60% fuel left in the tank. In P5, RC is, he's going on the Captain Muffin theory in terms of tyres. His front tyres are, just past the 50% worn mark, and he is just over half a tank of fuel left in the tank. His teammate Heafy is pretty much identical in terms of tyre wear, maybe a little bit worse off, but has a few percent more fuel. So Heafy doing a little bit more in the fuel saving department than his team owner. But he does have a hard charging Ricky Bobby right on his rear bumper.
Absolutely.
As we
pass here on 138.
Requires a lot of commitment there. A little bit of a tap.
Yeah, they both got short cleanly. Takes a lot of commitment to take a tight inside line through there.
Okay, Ricky Bobby now up into P6. He is bang on half a tank of fuel, and his tyre situation is a lot better than the two Thunder cars around him. His front tyres are probably about 30% worn, as I think that is Heafy currently carrying a half a second penalty for a slight corner cut, I believe would either be at the 130R or the Casio Triangle, the final chicane.
That middle component of the triangle can get you.
So in P8, quite a ways back off the field. Looking at the lap times, they have dropped off a little bit. He's had a couple of 2:08 laps, so not the greatest night.
No.
Not the greatest night for Lenosis, but his tyres are just past halfway worn, and he is just under half a tank of fuel. And our final driver on track tonight is E-Bulk. He is a bang on half a tank of fuel, but his tyres are looking very, very looking very nice at the moment, with that front right only at about the 35% worn mark. And that is the end of our first APR automotive tyre and fuel update.
Yep, you're in safe, soft hands. God, it's been a long night, and look, I'm going to put an excuse out there for Lenosis that when we were supposed to start the stream at 6:15, he was on the phone with me trying to get our streaming software up and running and cancelling out the changes that the updates have made. So well done, mate. I can understand why you might have run wide, but yeah, it's just been one of those nights, so you'll certainly be feeling the pressure. But let's get back up to Daltex. Yeah, he's that difference in the tyres, like, is pretty much the best in class, best in field here on that first tyre read. He's definitely been able to pull some ground out on Artsy, and it's also Ricky Bobby is right there, so we might stay in this battle and just see how it pans out as they come down into the first corner.
Oh, I feel this is going to be a matter of when, not if, Ricky Bobby takes that position off Artsy, because, well, let's just say Artsy's tyres are screaming for mercy. They want the sweet release of death.
And Ricky Bobby pretty much had the second best car in that in the tyre position too. Oh,
100%.
There, that's a really good. Oh no, Artsy's taking it up, and we'll have the inside through. I think it's.
That's a bit. That's firm.
Yeah,
yep,
that's my corner. Don't argue.
Look. Well, I mean, I think that would have taken everything Heafy has to be able to hold on to that position there, given how badly worn his tyres are right now.
One of the hardest corners on the track to hold the inside like that.
And medium compound tyre, lap 9 of 22. I don't see Heafy making this a one-stop race. I don't see him doing this lap plus two more on his current tyres. I've been proven wrong many times in the past by these Cat 1 drivers doing things that I say, nah, they won't be able to do that. But this one I'm pretty confident won't. Well, okay, let me put it this way. If he does do 11 laps on this current set of tyres, that 11th lap is going to be absolute misery for him.
He'll be a wizard.
Oh.
Yeah, just Ricky Bobby's he's sort of regrouped here, and he's back up. We'll just see as we go into turn 1 if Artsy's car was as nervous as it was on that previous lap on turning compared to Ricky Bobby's.
I'm genuinely surprised we didn't see him duck into the pits there.
Yeah, look at the speed differential through there. But, you know, it's a narrowish track and a wide car.
Yeah, the lap time drop-off is pretty brutal as well. Previously, Artsy was running in the mid-204 range.
Yeah,
that last lap was a hang on, yellow flag. Hello. What's happened here? What's going on? Oh, Mountain Goat has had an absolute debacle at the end of the snake. Oh, that has gone off. At the anti-banked curve, it looks like into Dunlop. It's all gone wrong for the kid.
Just see if it works. Replay works. Oh yes, look at boy. I mean, but how he's recovered quickly out of that's incredible to get back on the track. Some good rally driving there.
So that has given Dale Teeks a free kick up into third position. I'm pretty sure I can hear the cheering from the Kraken Esports pit garage at this point in time.
Yeah,
and it's also put Mountain Goat right back into the clutches of the APR Thunder battle.
Yeah, that was not a slow lose either. That was very, very hard. Is he carrying damage out of that?
I didn't see any damage on the car and the telemetry when he was recovering back onto the track.
Yeah, the sand must have just held him off the wall. Very lucky.
Yeah, the kiddie litter is very, very deep on this track, so if you can get out of it quickly, it's probably the best scenario. Ooh, did I just see Artsy with a bit of a corner cut there at the Casio? Well, he's into the pits at the end of lap 10. So I think he's gotten away with the corner cut. But he's now going to have to do
12 laps.
Yeah, 12 laps on a set of tyres that, well, they're 5% off being dead at the end of 10. So this is going to be a very interesting stint from Mr. Artsy.
Yeah, so we should have, if anything's true like the first race, we will have a huge, everyone pretty much will come in at the end of lap 11 unless someone's got running an overcut strategy. But and the quiet achiever, Dale Ticks, he's really locking down third place here. I know it's only the halfway mark, but you know, the gaps, once they get out around 3 seconds, the car behind really starts to, you start to tune that car up to try and bridge that gap down. But let's have a look now, Ricky Bobby here on Mountain Goat after that mistake.
Yeah, trying to bridge the gap to the car in front of you on with the tyre degradation that happens here does make things very, very difficult indeed.
Yeah, and if you are coming in this lap, not to, you don't necessarily want to take a risk in the last few corners before you pit, especially if you've been able to get a good fuel outcome in that first time. So we had RC coming at 26 litres, so interesting to see how these guys, who's performed the magic.
Well, Dale Teeks is looking very good in terms of his car and has a 15% fuel advantage over Captain Muffin in front of him. So that is huge, with the gap between them being bang on 2 seconds coming into the pits.
And also Goaty as well. So Jess just gone around for the 12th lap. We'll just hold here for a minute just to see where...
I can't help but wonder, Jeesh going around for that 12th lap, is that a strategy or is that a flex?
If he can still do his lap times, it'd be a big flex. Yeah, so Dale Teeks will jump out, I think, into second place once the pit players roll out. And it was also a good, decent fuel save by Heavy, so just going to see where he pops up in the scheme of things.
So Jeesh's times were consistently in the mid to high 203 range, with a 203.029 being the current fastest lap, set on lap 3. The last 2 laps were the only laps where Jeesh is out of the 203s and just into the mid 204s. So it's nice to see he is human and does suffer from the tyre degradation just like everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, and you can see there is 1.4 down on his best time. So that's a mid 4, which is similar to his previous 2 laps.
And also still pretty rapid for a race pace lap on a medium compound tyre.
Absolutely.
As he goes around for a lap 13, if you don't mind. Okay.
Yeah, so he's quite happy with
this is a flex now.
Yeah. Also too, like, you know, maybe even a shorter fuel load. I'm not sure of the fuel numbers. So, you know, if you can have a shorter refuel, that could cement his victory.
Well, we saw, who was it? Dale Teeks come in with 28% left in the tank at the end of.
So I reckon.
No, I'm seeing things. Don't mind me. Yeah. I saw Dale Teeks came in with a 28% at the end of lap 11. I thought I saw wipers moving. I'm not imagining things.
No.
So Jeesh is obviously being paid attention to the radar.
And it's raining full on.
I could have sworn I saw wipers going off, but then they stopped for that little bit. I'm not imagining things. No, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have rain here at Suzuka.
And I don't know what the radar's showing, but I'm very surprised those guys had the opportunity, because that rain started coming into 130R. They've only got one, if it's heavy in parts, they've got a lap before they have to get off softs.
Looking at the sky, it's not looking like it's going to be particularly heavy rain.
No. Have any of the drivers got their radar up that we can see?
Not that I can see. I've only got track layouts. I am seeing some drivers on a racing soft
Lenosis
So
could
definitely-
be a big benefactor of this weather. Like, it is teeming down where he is on the track. He hasn't pitted yet.
No,
So-
both Lenosis and E-Bulk, along with Geesh, are yet to pit.
Yeah. So this could play in the hands for Lenosis to grab a few spots back. Whereabouts is
Although
Geesh on the track? He's
in the pit stop,
he's gone around again.
a big gain made by Ricky Bobby in the
Yeah.
pit stop. He is right back up on the rear bumper of Dale Teeks, jumping both Goatee and Captain Muffin.
Yeah, I think on adjusted laps, depending on what happens with tyres. But yeah, he's in
And
pit
Ricky
straight.
Bobby is looking to make a move down the back straight towards 130R on Mr. Dale Teeks and gets it done before the corner, if you don't mind. Up into P4. Soon to be P3, now that Lenosis has ducked into the pits.
Yeah, wipers are off at the moment, so yeah, could just be very well read by.
Oh, it's getting very willing on the front straight here. We've got Captain Muffin pulling up to the inside of Dale Teeks into turn 1. Thunder Artsy, follows him through.
That was tight. Jeez,
Beep, beep, coming through, says Artsy.
I wonder what happened with Dale Teeks then. Was it just got caught out by a slipstream train?
Might have not had the greatest exit out of the Casio triangle.
Yeah, very loose through there. And Artsy and Dale Teeks aren't going to let these guys get away, I don't think.
Now, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Artsy is the one driver on the racing soft tyre. Everybody else is on the racing medium. So for now, he will have the grip advantage through the corners.
Absolutely. And if it is a damp track, maybe not experience the savage wear that we saw in race 1 when driving Artsy there missed the apex big time.
Well, I feel in that scenario, he might have been better off going the medium compound, because with the cooler track, he would have been able to get, theoretically, been able to get a little bit more life out of the tyre and therefore get that 12 laps that he needed. But it seems like he's just said, bugger this, I'm going to go as fast as I can and I'm going to throw the softs on, because he does have a very different fuel load to all the other drivers around him. So
Yeah,
he's gone for the lighter car theory.
Yeah, and it's raining again there now. So we've got E-Bulk, who I don't think has pitted yet, has he?
E-Bulk, no, but he will have to
Yeah.
pit this lap because
He's
he
dropped in.
has no
Ricky
fuel.
Bobby's dropped in, Captain Muffin, Artsy, are they going for wets?
I think they might be going for inters at the very least, because they the moisture meter is very, very well. It's just ticked over into the middle third, so
Yeah. That's
it's
where
past
it
the
starts
point.
to become treacherous.
it's past the point where you can use slick tyres safely.
So Gee's coming
And
up to Spoon, how does he handle this in the wet? Slowly. Very
very
tentatively.
carefully, I would imagine. He's run as far as he possibly can on those mediums, and he's just coming around Spoon now.
He's
Oh!
sideways. Oh,
Ooh. I wonder if you know how they live in Tokyo. Probably had that playing through his head at some stage.
yeah. Probably a bit of moisture might have come out. So.
Oh yes, that's a pucker up moment, definitely. But this will be costing him monumental amounts of time.
Geez, that's hard there. And that was halfway down between 130R and the triangle. So yeah, there is no grip out there anymore.
So he has played it well. He's run as he possibly can on the racing medium tyres. He's got next to no fuel left.
And he will have plenty of time when he comes out of this. So he's going to stop here.
Oh,
the other guy
Goatee,
stopped it.
1.5 second penalty.
Yeah, these guys have they had their first stop and have had to come back for wets, where Geesh has managed to counteract that. Great play.
Captain Muffin out on a fresh set of intermediate tyres.
Yeah, what's actually what we might do, we'll get Jish out on the track and then we'll quickly just go through the tyres.
Roger that.
Fuel won't be an issue because they're just going to flog it to get home. Or adjust as they need to. Alright, so we might start off with Jish. What did he come out on?
Jish has made the safe call and has thrown on the intermediate tyres.
Yeah. Goaty.
And we've got young Goaty who is persisting on the racing medium tyres.
And he's gone. Commentator's curse.
No, he's nearly held the perfect 360.
A double 360. Oh, no.
And he's collected his teammate.
Muffin.
That's...
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's gone past the pit. Oh, no. Pit entry is here.
No, Goaty is stubbornly refusing to pit for wet weather tyres. So,
he's
looped it across the finish line.
Once that moisture gets up around near half, his tyres are on a hiding to nothing. We're very skilled driver.
That was a beautiful 720 there, Goaty.
Yeah, he kept it off the wall, but yeah, he's just being swamped out.
I mean, it's not fast, but that was definitely pretty.
Yeah, and unfortunately.
So he's dropped from second down to 8 in a third of a lap. So back to where we were. We've got Artsy on the intermediate tyres.
If it dries out quickly and he gets a good run on those first couple of laps on them, they've got to stop again. Yep, so Artsy on intermediate.
Ricky Bobby on the inters, Heafy on the inters, Alernosis on the inters, E-Bulk on the inters, Goaty, as we know, on the racing medium, and Dale Teeks all the way back in 9th on the racing medium. But I'm sensing that with his previous lap being a 2:58, Dale Teeks had decided to... Yes, he's pitted... he would have pitted early, I do believe, to get rid of some inters and then get those racing mediums back on.
Yeah, up to speed as track moisture drops off.
So he's rolled the dice a little bit there because the track is just into the middle third in terms of moisture.
Yep.
But it has stopped actively raining, so the wipers are off at this stage.
Yeah, definitely getting back into medium territory. That said, the inters can hang on for a bit, but have they got 8 laps left in them? Oh, sorry, 6 laps left in them.
That's a very good question, actually, because we've got G-Shout in front. He's got 45 seconds back to Muffin, who has a rampaging Artsy right on the back of him. And he's into the pits now to ditch those intermediates. I would say he's going to be going back to... Well, I'd say at this stage he's probably going to throw the softs on. I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, with 6 laps to go, you probably would roll the dice. Especially with a bit of moisture in the early laps can preserve those tyres. Yeah, Captain Muffin's under an enormous amount of pressure here from Artsy.
As predicted, Heafy does have the racing softs on, as does Lenosis coming out of the pits now. Probably worth mentioning that you also need to be monumentally careful coming out of the pits with the fresh slicks, because the pit lane is still very treacherously wet.
Yeah, this track in particular, and what's the other one I'm thinking of? It's in Japan as well, up in the mountains.
Fuji.
No, the Autopolis.
Autopolis, yeah.
Autopolis,
yep.
The most treacherous pit lane exits when the track is wet. Artsy's had a look up there, a little bit of contact. That's brought Ricky Bobby into it, but Artsy's looking really racy here, so they're still both on intermediates, aren't they?
Ricky Bobby and Artsy, yes, they are, as is Captain Muffin. So all three of them are still on the inters, but I wonder if any of them will blink and throw some racing slicks back on, or whether they'll just go with the death to the intermediate tyres as Artsy's... That's a Code Brown moment right there.
Yeah,
but he's done a brilliant job to keep it on the track.
Even on a dry track, you get on that green stuff. And
Yeah, that
green carpet is
that
not good.
outside part of 130R is just terrifying.
Oops. Come back. Sorry, guys. We just got a black screen. Yep, we're back.
All right, Ricky Bobby's pulled the trigger. He has ducked into the pits for what I presume will be a brand new set of racing soft.
The hard part here is with, 4 laps to go, you're not going to get back what the pit stop cost you. So you've got to find a way of preserving it.
But looking at the amount of tyre wear that they had and were copping on those inter tyres, it would have been incredibly questionable as to whether those inters would last that 4 more laps. As E-Bolt comes out of the pits in a monumental amount of wheel spin in that still very damp pit lane. Dale Teeks has binned it at the Casio Triangle. What's going on there? Oh, this looks like an equipment failure.
It does. There's no speed no inputs in there at all.
No telemetry at all from the Kraken Esports car. I'm pretty sure that.
No, I think that's a wheel or pedal failure.
Oh, there is a little bit of accelerator going on. Oh wait, there we go. We've got input going.
Yeah,
we've got input back.
Yeah. So we've got Jish into the pits on intermediates. So I'd say he'll be putting a set of softs on and just absolutely sending it home.
It's a very sad time, I think, in the Kraken Esports garage right now. But good to see Dale Teeks getting himself up and going again and continuing on.
Yeah, his consistency in the race, and once the pit stops rolled out, he would have been in a pretty good position there. As long as he doesn't lose too much more time, he might get some back.
Speaking of getting some back, Mr. Goat, after going from 3rd to 8th in half a lap, he's now got himself back up into 2nd.
Into 2nd?
Yes, by pursuing those medium tyres when it wasn't the best to.
No, he's saved that.
He's got himself back up onto the podium after his teammate Captain Muffin and Arcee ducked into the pits to shed their intermediate tyres.
And how's his tyres looking? On the wet track, they probably wouldn't have worn as much.
No, those mediums are not even 10%, probably about 10% worn on the front, give or take.
Yeah. Gutsy move, but it's paid dividends.
Yeah, that lap and a half in the very, very wet conditions on those mediums, that would not have been fun.
Yeah, the other part here, and I'm pretty sure with Lenosis, he has saved a pit stop as well, because he stayed out a bit longer in the wet before he changed. So he's still running intermediates.
No, Lenosis had ducked into the pits for a fresh set of softs.
Yep.
He's currently got Captain Muffin on a fresh set of softs for company.
Yep, very racy behind him. We might just keep an eye on this because there was nothing in it.
Do got to have a shout out to my boy Ricky Bobby. Currently in P4, 2.5 seconds behind Heafy, who has done a brilliant job of getting himself up into 3rd.
But Heafy still is on intermediates, isn't he?
No, Heafy has racing softs on as well.
That's right, I probably went out and got a drink while all the pit stops were happening.
I think Lenosis and Captain Muffin are going to beat the 7 bells out of each other.
Yeah, he got good drive out of Smith. And it's a very wide Corvette going into 130R. Ooh. Very, very close racing. Yeah, I think Lenosis, that handling just doesn't quite seem to be its normal finesse tonight, but doing a great job to get back to the issues he had early in the race.
Yeah, agreed. The car's body language, it doesn't look particularly happy tonight.
So with 2 laps to go, I think we'll just quickly go through a little gap. So we got RG absolutely dominant out the front. One pit stop less. The mediums did a very solid job for him in the wet. Just as I said, that he runs deep into the corner. We've got Mountain Goat back up to P2, 9 seconds to the better of Heafy in P3. Ricky Bobby fastly closing down the gap on Heafy.
Yeah, that gap has come down a second in the last lap and a half.
Yep, so we'll keep watching that. He's 6 seconds up on Captain Muffin, who's got a 1.8 second gap over the Gnosis. That is also it's starting to grow a little bit after that overtake, but we'll see what the Gnosis can do. Thunder Artsy 3.5 back from Gnosis. E-Bulk just a second off the back of Artsy, and then Daltix in 9th after that tech issue that he had. He lost a lot of time. Let's go.
Very unfortunate for him there tonight, but
so we'll
got to take the good with the bad.
Ricky Bobby and just see what inroads he can make. There'll be 2 laps after this one, and under a second, that's a very achievable gap to breach.
Yeah, Ricky Bobby does have a significant tyre advantage in terms of the condition of those racing softs. Heafy is below or more than 50% worn, whereas Ricky Bobby is probably about 25% worn, as he's hugging the pit lane wall down the front straight, trying to shake that slipstream.
Yeah, that'll
not doing much to help, unfortunately.
No, sometimes side draft can work, but when your tyres have got that disadvantage.
So that gap's come down to 0.3 in a 1 sector.
Yeah, about that 25-30%. The softs really, sorry guys, black screen again, but the softs really do.
They do tend to drop off a cliff quite badly. I think Ricky Bobby might be trying to look for an overtake here, and he might just be cursing himself a little bit. He was thinking about playing his Joker card for this round, which would have paid off immensely with how he's running right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, double points in P4. I can't believe we've got 17 drivers have left at the Laguna, which is probably one of the most incident-driven tracks on the calendar. Certainly, technically, very difficult.
Oh yeah, it must be a thing with American tracks, because like Big Willow, the sand at Laguna. Ricky Bobby's run off a spoon.
Yep. Just trying to get that corner speed. The group ran out.
Very, very easy to run wide on the entry into spoon.
Now, does that give Heafy? He's got that second back now, so with 1 lap to go, they'll be on their final lap.
Definitely a free kick to the Thunder driver there. A little bit of breathing space.
Just have a quick look up front. We've got Jeesh on the final lap. He's coming through Degner. Just a little bit of grass there, but he's just done it so easy, and a bit of a masterstroke there to save that pit stop. Just totally put him out of reach.
Also worth mentioning, on his previous lap, he dropped a 2:01.701 for the fastest lap of the race.
Wow.
So, half a second slower than his qualifying time.
Yeah, and seeing another black 4K screen. Gotta hope this race hurry up and finish. Well, here we go. We got Ricky Bobby right on Heafy through the snake. This next section.
So that tire difference really coming into play with these two guys.
Yeah, just.
Heafy's front tires have basically checked out. That front left is Its bags are packed and it's at the airport. The front right is at the check-in desk.
Yeah, he's doing a really solid job here at trying to hold him off. Just keeping an eye on the top two so we catch their finish. But
oh, geez, she's coming across the line now. There we go. Takes the win.
Done,
very well deserved.
Absolutely dominant. We've got
Godey's just coming out of Spoon onto the back straight now. Oh, Ricky Bobby and Heafy side by side coming into Spoon.
And
Heafy just, Heafy's got nothing. He might actually fall victim to Captain Muffin too.
Absolutely, he's under big pressure here. Muffin's got good drive up the inside here. We've seen him do it before. Yeah, that vet's going to be really wide here at the apex of 130R. Yeah, and he's got
as Mountain Goat comes out of Casiero Triangle now. Very well-deserved second place for young Goaty.
Yeah, considering how far back he went, I think to 6 at one point there. Ricky Bobby, he's coming around, take the checker flat. A great race by this bloke. Nice tight line there. Captain Muffin across the line in fourth. Good recovery. Heafy fighting the tyre demons there has done well. Lanos has improved and recovered to sixth place. Thunder Artsy in seventh. Daltex finished with E-Bulk in ninth. So, guys, what a race. We had rain. Tyre wear came into the mix of it. I'll just get the results up. So, brought to you by Adelaide Ceramic Coatings, the results. As we said, a very strong and dominant win by Geesh. Best lap as well, 2.01.701. Absolutely cracking on softs at the end of the race and low fuel. Middle step of the podium, Mountain Goat in the vet, followed by Ricky Bobby for APR Motorsport. And that's your podium. Captain Muffin, good drive. He had a couple of moments in that race that he's had to come back from. Heafy, really solid drive in P5, battled the tyres at the end. Lenosis, also a great recovery into 6. P7 is Artsy. 8 is E-Bulk. And Daletex in P9, who was driving a really solid race and then got caught out with some technical dilemmas. So your thoughts on the race, Carvin, and your driver of the day?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, fire in your driver of the day nominations into the YouTube chat if you would be so kind. Well, yeah, as you said, definitely an up and down race with always appreciate the curveball of the weather finally coming into play. Thank you, GT7, for finally doing something like that for us. It's been a long time. So 100% threw a curveball into people's strategies. It was really good to see people's different approaches to how they were going to tackle, whether they were going to run the inters, they were going to run long, run short. There was a great variety of decision making there. Some of it good, some of it not. I'm stuck, sort of torn between two drivers from my driver of the day. My first one is, well, I'm a little bit biased, but my teammate Ricky Bobby, putting in a very solid effort to get himself up into a P3 and onto the podium here at Suzuka. But I do think I'm going to have to go with my driver of the day being young Goaty. After seeing him spin 3 times in the space of half a lap and drop from second place all the way back down to 8th, to get himself back up into second place by the end of the race. Monumental effort from the young fella. So definitely worthy of my driver of the day.
Yeah, look, I'm torn between those two. And also in the chat, we've got Deborah Fish, driver of the day, Mountain Goat. Ricky Bobby, driver of the day, Debrev. Look, I reckon, as much as I liked Ricky Bobby's drive, through the field there and very consistently through the field, seeing Goaty stay out there on mediums which nearly killed him 3 times. Uh, and recover like that. Yeah, look, that tips the driver of the day my way to mountain goats. So well done, Goaty. How you stayed out there on those mediums, I got no idea, but it was good to see that with GT7 the rain was at least sensible. Sometimes it could not be, but yeah, a bit of a masterstroke there for both or the whole podium to manage their tyres like they have. So, mate, that wraps it up. Thank you very much, Carbon Boy, for your commentary and help RDing and that sort of thing. And
My pleasure.
Yep, and that wraps up our Cat 1 Group A and B for round 7. And congratulations to podium in both races. They weren't easily achieved, and there was a lot of toing and froing. Cat 1 never disappoints, and again, we got to witness some great racing. Also, a big thank you to everyone watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and support our sponsors if you're in the area where you can. More to come from Sector 1. Well, next week, we're back at Suzuka for Category 2 drivers. Carbon Boy, I'll see you on the track again. Looking forward to actually the race there. This always throws up a few variables, this track, so who knows?
I am too. I do like Suzuka. Whether I'm any good at it is a completely different scenario, but I do like the circuit. So looking forward to racing there and seeing you on track as well.
Yeah,
for the few seconds before you disappear off into the distance with those Black Rose boys.
Hopefully I can at least keep them in check, but we'll see how that works. But also too, it'll be interesting to see with that race and then the final round to go for both categories, who throws their joker cards out, because it's a good sign that they love the track and they're quick at it, but it also can bring pressure on a driver. So let's see how all that goes. But in the interim, ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch up with everyone then. So good night, stay safe, and we'll catch you next Sunday, Sector 1, 6:15. And finally, apologies for the technical gremlins. You've seen them through the telecast. I think we've all got to look at after the updates, we've got to get our streaming software sorted this week. And we'll be back bigger and better than ever. We'll catch you all then. Cheers, everyone. Good night.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Sector 1. We are here tonight for some Category 1 racing action around All Saints Village.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning all. And this is just the beginning. I need a big change, only feels like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?